Hello. So I realize it's really, really loud. Really, 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 really loud. But I can't really do this where I'm sitting because I'm right outside the doors at Wesco. And I'm going to sit here for just a minute because this sweet little boy that's been giving me free drinks and pizzas. Who must know I'm homeless AF. And that's why. And my daughter worked here, probably gave my heads up. My sweet, sweet daughter. He just ran past me, and I don't want to. I don't know if he's out in his car. I don't want to accidentally schmuck him in the parking lot because I can't see. Oh, I guess I can see. Just kind of not so good. Okay. Anyways, it's really, really loud in here because I have to try to see out the windows, and it's really, really froggy because I've been sitting in here huffing and puffing, and it's muggy. I'm sweating, and it's muggy. Okay, so this is what I keep hearing. I keep hearing Pinocchio's "There Are No Strings on Me." And, this whole me conversating with you is a message, but doesn't it just sound like I'm having a normal day-to-day conversation with you? Like, that's what I'd think. I'd think, this bitch is just talking to me. And a lot of people that walk by me think, that bitch is just talking to herself. It is good to talk to yourself because 9 times out of 10 when you're talking to yourself, you're talking to God. And that doesn't mean that you are God. You are a fractal of God. And God talks to his personality all the time. God talks through his personality all the time. God talks to through his identity of this specific personality all the time. And God being the whole ginormous universe, God being that plant, God being that piece of cement, God being this vehicle, God being that Slurpee or slushy, whichever you prefer to call it. We didn't go to Speedway, so it's a slushy officially. It's from Wesco. Okay? He's that slushy that I'm going to intake into my body. I mean, I can't imagine that he really prefers to be that much sugar, but he is. He's that much sugar. He's that fucking sweet. And he can be salty too. He can prevent an ice slick. And he can also melt in the rain. God's all of these things. He's all of these things. He's salty. He's sweet. He's Miracle Whip and mayonnaise. He's me. He's you. But that's just a personality of God. And we have to remember that we picked up personality traits and personalities from our parents and from our childhood and from before our parents and from past lifetimes, possibly, that we've carried into this life and gifts from past lifetimes that we've carried into this lifetime that we just forget. We forget that we are a piece of God when we come into this lifetime, right? We forget that God loves us, not just our parents, not just our creators in human form, but our creator in sacred geometrical form or sacred, all holy, all good, all everything great and above and beyond beauty form, before name form, before breath form, before light form, before he called out or she called out, before gender called out because it was lonely. Before the experiment, which became the experience, which is this expression of life, which is you, which is me, which is that tree, which is my pea. I've got no strings to hold me down, to make me fret, to make me frown. I once had strings, but now I see there are no strings on me. Set yourself free from believing that you are a puppet on a string, that you are your mom, your dad, the programming, that you are just one fractal of God. You are just that programming. You are whatever programming you prefer to be. First, you have to admit that you have been programmed. But those were programmers that didn't know they were programming or didn't realize how hardwired you could become. And they themselves forgot that they were so good at programming. Oh, what is it called? Exploding Kittens. It's such a cute program. It's a little adulty. It's a little adulty. I'd say it's like 12 and up because there's two, there's a 13-year-old and a 17-year-old. But it kind of explains things a little bit in a manner. Shit, South Park explained things in a manner when I was 17 years old. My kid's dad let my baby watch South Park when she was like 11 years old. Imagine. I can't even imagine. I was afraid of Freddy at 11 years old. I was scared to death of him. I'm still scared to death of Freddy. It may be in cartoon form, but it's still pretty. You know what I mean? And then imagine the shit that our parents' were watching at like 11 years old. In 1942, they were watching like excuse me. They were watching the Looney Tunes. And then in our parents' age, the Cabbage Patch Kids, they were selling kids for, like, the elites were child trafficking. If you ever wonder why there's, like, some children's homes without emotion, where you cannot express emotion, where you needed to suck it up, Chuck. That could be why. Because their parents had no fucking clue. Because they went through or maybe just their parents' parents. It depends. I mean, wars have been going on forever. Shit. Sometimes you have military families. And sometimes you have families that went through the Depression. Sometimes you had families that went through slavery or racism, heavy discrimination. Sometimes you had indigenous families that went through that type. There are families that went through all types of atrocities. The sad part is that sometimes their families made it up to such a position in life that they wanted their kids to show up and show out and be seen with a silver spoon in their mouths. Or they didn't want their children to be seen at all. And then you hear the term closed mouths do not closed? Yes, not clothed. Closed mouths do not get fed. Well, which is it? I don't understand. I'm between a rock and a hard place. I'm not supposed to ask you for help. But I'm not supposed to cry out about the injustice either. If I want to cry out about the injustice, I cry out to a system that is broken. You believe the system is broke. You believe the system works because it works for you, because you have money, you see. I have no money, and therefore the system does not work for me. And that's the way it was set up. Had to roll down the windows. It's getting pretty foggy in here again. But I'm hot-winded. I'm full of hot air, you know. I'm hot-blooded. Check it and see. I've got a fever of 103. Come on, baby, do you do more than dance? Yeah, I've got a mouth on me. People don't like it. They don't like it. But I don't have money to back me. So I've got to do a whole lot of huffing and puffing. But you know what? Huffing and puffing doesn't work. It's not who can talk loudest in the room sometimes. Sometimes that doesn't win. You know that you're the truth serum. You honestly know that you are the truth serum. And other people know it too, and that's why they don't want to be around you. Is this Dr. Seuss's on the Loose? What is this? What is this? A poetry slam? What is this? I don't know. Am I rhyming, Sam? Yes, I am. Sometimes. A little dab will do it. A little dab will do it. A little dab will bring it all out and put it all on the surface. And that's why people don't want you around. They don't want you around because you trigger the truth. The funny part is that you trigger the truth around people that are in agreement with them anyway. So, you know, almost like, what difference does it make? You think you have the good guy on the line. You know, you think you have the good guy on the other end of the spectrum, but then you realize that they have some unhealed wounds, unhealed woundings. And somehow everything you say opens one of those wounds. Because there's no scar tissue there. There's no scar tissue. That is scab. That is a scab. That is not samskara. Samskaras, you forget about scars unless you got some numbing under the skin because it's a deep, deep, deep muscle scar, you know? Like your children coming out C-section, like those. Or like some other deep, deep, deep wounds that you have because of surgeries or because of abuse. Those don't always just affect the surface. Those don't always just affect the skin. Those affect the deep down, the within. They affect the innards. They affect the soul. They affect the child. They affect the child within, whether they happen in childhood or not. They affect the core, the innocence, the beliefs in human decency and kindness. Sometimes we gotta sit with ourselves and go, no, that is not how all people are. And that is not how all people stay. Every one of us has an opportunity for change. Every moment of every day, we have an opportunity to change our minds about our past, because we can sit with it. We can choose to sit with it. We can choose to be bigger than that scar or that scab that numbed us from taking a chance on experiencing getting close to something like that, some kind of emotion like that again. Not everyone is here to harm us. Sometimes when they hinder us, sometimes when they are hindering us, that is only because they are helping us take a step back to look at either something we heard, something that hurt, something that hindered, something that harmed, something that helped, something that has healed, or something that needs to be basically brought to the surface. I recognize that happened in the past. That thought process, that personality, that belief is not true. That belief is not true. We do not have to be hard. We do not have to suck it up, buttercup. We do not have to hide. We do not have to hurt or harm or hinder a person in order to help them. And if a person asks us for help, well, I guess it is kind of hard. If you can't help yourself, you can't help another. So we seek ways to help ourselves and heal ourselves. And once we've learned how to heal ourselves, then we can help heal others. We can't help to heal others if they're not asking for help. If they believe what they're doing is just and right, or if they're not witnessing that mistakes were made, or if they don't see it, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. It's just like my brother with drinking. You can let him know that he's pushing everybody away from him. It's just like my Aunt Jenny. With her anger and her lack of control. She's pushing everybody away from her too. And in the meantime, she's keeping everyone away from my grandmother. Just like my mom. I come over to visit and I don't go inside and I don't talk to her and I don't this or that or have conversations with her or talk to her or try to tell her about anything. It's, well, because when I do, when I'm going through a hard time, she's not emotionally available. And the only way that she becomes emotionally available is when we talk about something that she's going through. And she's not, you know, she's playing the victim because that's what she's always done. You do what you always do and you get what you always got. Well, what she used to get was sympathy. Everybody gave her sympathy. It was poor Kathy, poor Kathy, poor Kathy. Sorry, Mom, I put your name right out there, but there it is. Ah, poor Kathy, poor Kathy, poor Kathy. She's going through so much. But then she's been given the opportunity to leave. She's been given the opportunity to improve her life. She's been given the opportunity to change and to, you know, make better decisions or to, you know, become closer with her grandchildren or her daughter herself or her son or her other granddaughter or her other granddaughters. And, you know, she's still dealing with somebody who can't control their temper. And she's proven time and time again she can't really control her temper. She can control her temper around the you know, the grandkids. But he can't. And she's just pretty much made it so I can't be around my kids. And sadly, if I were around my kids, she wouldn't be able to see them. And it's not because of my kids, it's because of me. I don't know why that is. And I keep telling her it's probably because, you know, Dad just doesn't like me and that it's about money. But my dad won't be happy no matter what because he still isn't dealing with his own issues from childhood and not being able to be emotionally vulnerable. Neither one of them can be emotionally vulnerable. Can't help somebody who doesn't want to help themselves. And I've been trying to tell myself that since I've been trying to help my mom. And she hasn't wanted anything to change. I want things to change. That's why I didn't stay with men that weren't emotionally vulnerable. Or weren't honest. Or weren't ready to commit fully. Because they were afraid. Women lie, men lie. Women lie, men lie. Women lie, men lie. Numbers don't lie. You know what else doesn't lie? The truth serum. You don't just pour it on people. It's in your guts. You just have to listen. You just have to listen. Because he is divine truth. He is before he or she was. He is divine presence. It, the tetragrammaton, is before all things. Before dark, before light. I don't know before dark. I don't know. It was before nothing. Before everything. Before. Words, gobbledygook, mouth noises. The nothing, the everything. What did he cry out into the everything, or into the nothing? Mom. And she said, boy, come to me. Come here to me. Sophia, Lilith, Lucifer, Jesus, all the things. Adam and Eve, Adam and Steve, Peter and Paul and Mary and everyone, every one of us. It's all good. It's all okay. I have faith that all is well. All you need is a little faith. You've got to have faith, the faith. I like his name better as Gabriel Michael. You got a twofer. I'll talk to you later. I'm going to get in here and make some Idahoan potato shreds by Hidden Valley Ranch. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Bliss out. Booch. Broski. Whatever your agenda. Excuse me. Shaman burps, I'm telling you what. Blessed be. Bye.